Good morning, church. My name's David, and this is the musing for the 1st of December. My friends, you are at the pivot point of history. Everything that takes place from now on will be influenced, however minutely, by your actions today. In some cases, your influence on future events will be very important. In most cases, your influence will be immeasurably small. Immeasurably small, perhaps, but not zero. For example, my choice of whether or not to buy a house today will have a major impact on my finances, my family's future, the life of the seller, perhaps, things like that. But it will also set into motion ripples of new consequences, and who knows where those might lead. Perhaps someone I've never met who wanted to buy that house will instead move out of town, buy a farm, strike gold, become fabulously wealthy. History is full of stories of how seemingly unrelated things ended up influencing each other, forging connections that no one could have predicted, outcomes that no one could have planned for. It seems interwoven. People, events, decisions, accidents, coincidences, each one affecting all of the others in different ways. It seems everything we do has consequences, both seen and unseen. Therefore, you play a small part in determining the future course of the universe. At least, that's how it seems to me. I call it cause and effect. Catchy name, don't you think? Maybe I should copyright that. Anyway, I mention all this in order to get to something else. It seems to me that if every action has consequences, then every action is also the result of previous actions. By that I mean every action is a consequence of a previous cause. And that action was caused by an action that had its own cause, and you can see where this is going. At some point, there has to be a cause that doesn't have a cause. An action that is not the result of a prior action. A first cause. Friends, that's a description of God. Uncreated, eternal, with no beginning and no end. The first cause. The creation, therefore, was an action that was not a response, but a decision. You know, physicists tell us that the universe started with a huge explosive expansion from a single point as energy became matter and motion and space and time. They call it the Big Bang. But it sounds a lot like let there be light to me. God bless you all.